All right, so I promised you all a tutorial on how I make my little mini books. So first thing that you need to do is to make sure that you can see your rulers. If you don't know how to find them, click on File, click on Settings, Show Rulers and Guides, or click Shift and R. So what I do is I drag my book over, and then I'm going to resize it, scroll in so I can see these numbers because my eyeballs aren't what they used to be. And I put it right in the corner, but I'm not going to leave it in the corner. The reason why I put it in the corner is so that I can make sure that add the measurements right. So I make my book 2 inches by a half inch. Oh, it looks like it's already there. So let me zoom out a little bit and you can see where that's at. So you'll see my guides, and then I move it away because I don't want it printing right on the corner. I made the mistake of doing that yesterday and it tore this whole side up. It was very strange that it did that, but lesson learned. So you can also, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. But this first method is I just grab the book that I've made, the size that I want, and make a couple of copies of it. And then I can now, let me scroll up. I can now drag over any book I want. And now I've made a whole bunch. So when I first did this, I probably made 50 at a time. And I'm still needing to load up on my library. So the next piece I want to show you is how I make a different type of book. So let me find one with a guide. And what I mean by a guide is it's got the binding already very visible. And the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to grab a frame. So let me grab the right frame. And the frame that I'm grabbing is going to have a very minimal border. So you can see there's a little bit of an edge right there. And I'm going to now resize it. So here I go resizing. Oops, oh no, this is the right one. And I get it to match here. And I'm bringing it down because I want to, basically what I'm doing is I'm making my own book cover. So you'll see that it matches up. Obviously, when you're in here, match them up a little bit better by zooming in. So I'm going to make a copy of that. That is the second part of the book. So I'm just going to put it right next to this book because I want to make sure that I get them the exact same size. The next part is making the middle part. So let me push that there. And I'm going to drag this in here. And now I have my middle part of the book. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to highlight all here with my mouse so I can move this up so you can see. And now if this is ready for a whole book. So I'm also going to bring this down because I'm going to show you two books at the same time. That should be about right. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to show you two different book designs at the same time with this one. Okay, so we're going to pick a book that's got 3 parts. So basically front cover, back cover, spine. So I'm going to pick this one only because this is one that I'm working on now or going to work on. You can see that I still need to make some adjustments to the book. But I put my front cover in, I have my spine, and now the back cover, and it's ready to print. So that's one way. The other way is with this big one down here, which is going to do similar to how this one did when you just throw a book right over the top. And now you have your book. So those are the two ones that I want to show you right now. The next one I'm going to show you is one where you can actually make your own books, which I am now in the process of making an entire encyclopedia set. Excuse me. So I want to show you what that looks like. Okay, for this next one, you'll see that I chose a different book because I wanted the spine to be a little bit wider while I showed you this one. So in here, we're going to go to shapes. And I'm picking a square one because I want it to have those crisp corners. And I am going to resize this again to the size of my book. I have one. And now I'm going to make a second one, but I'm making it the size of my spine. And 2. And I'm just going to move it out of the way. So on this one, we are going to make this box and this transparent, but we're going to put a gray border around it so that you can see what I'm doing. So first thing first is you're going to click on the one that you want to change. We're coming up here to the color. Let me make this screen bigger. And I'm going to move my book down. Bear with me. So I'm going to make the shape transparent. Then I'm going to put a one border. And then I am going to choose it to be a very light gray. So now that's there. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing to the spine. And we are going to make it clear. Give it a one border. Make that gray. And now it's there. So you'll see that it lined up itself. I don't know if you saw that when it was dark brown. But when you're moving it, it lets you know when it's perfectly centered. So now we have a book. So we're going to color the book now. Actually, let's put some words on here really quick. Let's make this Parmesan cheese. Yeah, Parma cheese. Whoop. Let's go ahead and make the back cover Parma cheese also, just because we can. Okay, so now I want this book to be a color. So I'm coming over here to color. And instead of it being transparent, I am now going to make it, let's choose this pink one. Now it's pink. So now the reason why this is gray is so that when you print it, you know exactly where to fold your paper. So now you see that I put the exact same color book right next to it, but it looks a little bit different because I decorated it. So these are just two flowers that I put on it in a random place. And you'll see that the spine looks a little bit different. And it's a colored one, right? So you come over here to your gray one. Again, you go right to the design. When you go to the design, you're going to click on it. You're going to click on the color. And then you're going to find the exact same color you just used. And then you're going to see that it makes the spine look different. So that's how I made this one. This one's just a wider spine. So if I were to change the color, let's do this blue, and let's change the background to blue. And you'll see that it kind of makes the spine look a little bit different and more defined. So you get to play around with how big you want this spine to be. Just keep in mind that if you have a bigger spine, the paper that you cut on the inside might be a little bit shorter than the other books that you're printing that might have a thinner spine. So that's a couple of ways that I am coming here to make books. So I hope this video helped. I'll give you a little insight on my encyclopedias that I'm making. Never mind the other stuff. I run a couple of different businesses. So let me put this here, and you'll see what I've done is I just wrote on them, typed on them, my bad. I put a little barcode, and I'm going to make a whole set of encyclopedias. And what I'm going to do, instead of coloring them, I'm going to leave them gray because I'm going to use colored paper to print them on. And then once I'm done with printing them on the colored paper, I'm actually using the yellow insert on a spiral notebook. I'm sure some of you have seen them in the 3 and 5 subject journals, the spirals. I'm going to print it on that because I want it to be that specific yellow. And then once I'm done, I cut them out. I put them on a laminating sheet. Now my encyclopedias are going to have a glossy cover. So happy bookmaking to you all. I'm going to color this one pink just for giggles since we're here. So you can also see, might even change my own mind and start making these into different colors. Anyway, I wish you all a blessed day and take care.